la la la.
Good evening, this is Kelvin of the Groovy Guppy, and well, it's Monday Night Football over here on the screen. Turn the volume off. By the time you listen to this, you probably won't care who wins. Packers are winning. Anyway, I made a video earlier today, or yesterday, the day before. I don't know, this move was just a lot of fun. Showed you how to build a quick filter to filter a lot of this. It's that same tank. And I got a lot of the sediment that was out of there, the mullein, which I didn't want to keep all of it in there. There's still a little bit, not a lot. But now I've got my puffers in here, and the tank's up to temperature, and my puffers are actually they're liking this bigger tank. They were in a 10-gallon tank and a little bit too small for this many puffers. There's I think 7 or 8 of them in here now. This is a 30, and I can see them over there swimming around. I don't know if you can see them on the camera or not. I'll turn them over there. You probably rather look at them guys than me anyway. There you go. And excuse my office here. I got piles of stuff in here I'm trying to organize from this move. But what I got here is a bit of cloud in this water. And, well, puffers don't like a lot of current. So I have a little aerator in the back. It's one of the ones I build. And I think I've got a video. If not, I'm going to make one here pretty quick. Can't remember where I was on that part. I got a little sponge filter. I make my own because they're cheaper. And it's actually pointed toward the back of the tank. So it shoots the flow right into the back of the tank and cuts down how much flow there is. And it is going to filter some of this out. But it's a fairly coarse filter. But what I'm building here today is I want to polish this water. I want to make it cleaner. Hang on a minute. I always forget one thing, don't I? So, this particular project, I'm yelling so you can hear me, and the mic probably can hear me just fine. I'm going to make a slow motion polisher, one that doesn't affect my my puffers. It won't add a lot of current to the thing. It will slowly trickle the water through what I'm calling a polisher, and I can actually put a little carbon in here if I wanted to. I don't use carbon much. Carbon's really, in today's aquarium world, used to be very, very popular, activated carbon, for filters. And I could put it in this if I wanted to, and I'm not going to. One time you want to use carbon is getting medicines out of your water. It will help neutralize the medicines after you're done with the dosing. Helps clean that up. But what I'm using here to build this filter is not a filter. It's something I have around, and a lot of us will have these, or I'll have a link to them. This is a Mariner holding and breeding box. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of the parts out of there. I'm going to use the box itself. Okay, and they have a little, I guess I should put it in front of the camera. Me and the camera. Okay, got the 2 little dividers. I'm going to slide them in here. And I had it in there. I should have just left it alone. Why did you ask me to see that for? Oh, wait. I don't know if you asked, but I'm blaming you. Okay. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay. I put both the dividers in here. And I cut a piece of my favorite little biofilm. I'll make a link down there so you can get a hold of that. I got it on Amazon. Most of the pet stores sell it. It's probably pricier. You get a lot smaller piece for. And I use a lot of it, so. Okay, I'm going to use the actual tube here. Okay, and I'll hook up air right here. What happens with this is this creates an air bubble, just like an air stone. It will suck up just a trickle, little water. And I'll put a control valve on it, and it'll drop the water in here. And in the centerpiece right here, I'm going to put a little. Now, I guess I should show you the label. Polyfill, and I can put a link for that in the description too. Be honest with you, probably cheaper if you have a Walmart near you. If you don't, if it's quite a little drive, then you can get it shipped to your house. Amazon Prime is good for that kind of stuff. For those people that don't live right next to the Walmart or a craft store. Okay, and I'm going to put these in here, and what I'm going to do, one other thing I'm going to cut here, and I've already cut it. I'm going to assume that most of my people watching this know how to use a razor blade and cut a piece of filtering. I know it's a big assumption, but I'm going to go with it. I'm going to cut a little square like this. Now they put a little, these things have a little gate that goes in here, and you can use that gate. Not a fan. I keep knocking them off and dropping them in there. I guess put a little something around there to secure a little bit, but I'm just going to put this. This keeps the fish from swimming out into this. Okay. And there shouldn't be nothing in there really. But chances of getting a fish up in here, because the fish are in here bigger than, like I said, I got one little oddball fish. I don't know what he is in there. He appeared one day. And I got a couple shrimp in there that, yep, shrimp don't go with puffers, guys. My puffers don't seem to care. Okay, whatever. So I got a couple of cull shrimp in here, and I actually have one female, and she's off color, but she's got a bright yellow stripe down her back. She's right there. She's showing off right now, and she's about to have more babies, but she's a cull. She's off color, and she's probably a couple years old now. That stripe gets on them when they get old. I'm going to take this, put the piece of sponge here. You can put the sponge there if you want and make it a little smaller. I'm just going to stick it right there. It's a pre-filter, basically what I'm using that. I'm going to take some of my poly here, throw it in this center section. Don't pack it down too hard because you want the water to go through it. I'm going to leave this one open for now. Now, if you're going to do this with carbon, if you want to put carbon in here, you'd put this over here and put the carbon here. Okay. This is a polisher. What's going to happen here is the larger bacteria get caught in here, okay, or the larger particles, and this will only catch a lot more of it. And you can pack this a little bit, but I wouldn't get too crazy with it. And the water is going to flow along the bottom here and come back up and go back into the tank right here after I hook up an airline right to here. And over the course of, it won't happen tomorrow. This won't be clean tomorrow. Over the course of several days, this tank will get, the water will get clearer and clearer and clearer. Okay, now there's chemicals you put in there. I just don't like using a lot of chemicals on my fish if I don't have to. So I'll hang this on the back of my tank. Be out of sight, out of mind. I may run this for weeks. I don't know. It doesn't hurt my fish. So easy little filter, and the tool can be taken off and used for. Actually, this particular one here, I just moved the puffers into here with it. Puffers are kind of a weird thing. If they puff when they rarely puff. I mean, pea puffers. But if they puff when they're in the net or out of the water, they can actually die. So I actually dip this in the water, get the net, and kind of catch them in here. So this was underwater and everything. I had all this out of here. So, but I have 4 or 5 of these things. I use them all the time. Okay, this is the morning after I made that video at the beginning of the first half. See, I got a clean shirt on. Ooh, yeah. I had some lunch on the one from yesterday. And that little polisher just working overnight. Okay. This tank's been set up for several days with that other filter going. And that little polisher working overnight. You can see already a major difference in there. Just getting that little bit of sediment that's floating around in there and my little puffers there. I don't know if you can see them, but while we're doing this, you might as well see if we can take a peek at the puffers. There they are, see back in the back. The puffers like a lot of cover, and this tank is going to have a lot of cover. My plants are a little rough shape because of the move, but that one there is acclimating to. There they are. Look at them all. Look at that. And now, I didn't notice this in the 10-gallon tank, but they are clinging together, and it's not how I thought they would behave. But they are young, so that could be the problem. Not a problem. They're just all get along friendly. They do tend to. I have seen them nip at each other and chase each other around, and there they are. But you can see how much clearer that water is just overnight with my little cheapy polisher. And you know, those little breeder holder things, I use them for lots of things. Very rarely use them for breeding fish. That's not how I do it, but they are good for a lot of other stuff. I use them for holding a lot. There's another one down there that's not in the crowds. Look at that, a shrimp going down right by it, and There's something there that's kind of cool. Those are the white worms I feed these guys. They were put in there yesterday. They're still alive. I gave them too many, it looks like, but they stay alive in there, so it's okay, and they'll come by and find them. I can hold the camera still here. There we go. Can you see them? They're a little blurry, I think, but anyway, just wanted to show you the results. Oh, we gotta watch these guys. Look at them. They're just kind of big old happy family, and they're wild caught. These are wild caught, except for the littlest guy right there. The littlest one is one I actually bred. And I got one other little fish in here, and I have no idea where he came from, who he is, what he is. But there's my baby. There's my baby guy. See him down there? The little one there? That small one is one we raised. We actually took these puffers out before the move of a tank and put them in another tank. And that tank had sat there for 2 or 3 or 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and all of a sudden I looked in there. I was about to drain it out. About to drain it out, and it was going to be gone. And I looked in there, and there was a little speck of dust swimming around. Well, it wasn't dust, it was him. So I don't know if it's a boy or girl yet, it's too early. You can tell the boys, they get, for those who wonder about that, you can tell a boy pea puffer by the wrinkle behind the eye. The males get a wrinkle behind the eye, and the females don't get it. Okay, that's how you tell a male from. And their colors, look at this. See, this one's turning yellow. They get a yellow color to them. And sometimes they'll eat so much their bellies will fill right up. These guys are really checking out this new environment. Look at that. They're just putting on a show for us. Oh, let's get it up here where you see it. They are putting on a show here today. I think they like this bigger tank better. They get to look around. And they're a little fish that'll move around, and they will, as they get older, they'll start becoming territorial. And a good setup for these guys, if you want to just breed them, is you take some Java moss, and I got that pot holding until that Java moss settles in this tank. Put some Java moss in the middle, and I like to put a couple of plants over here, or maybe a statue or something that they can hide in or around. So that way when they become aggressive, somebody can go hide. And I've got all this Java fern over here to give them places to hide, because this tank's got a couple more than it's supposed to have. But with the barriers, they have places to hide, and they seem to get along just fine. I've had this many in a 30-gallon tank before, and as long as there's got lots of plant life, this is kind of look at that. See, now there's a shrimp. She's an old one. She's a call, but look at the stripe down her back, and she's right now fanning on babies. Now the babies may not make it. Those guys, they may take care of the baby problem. But I've raised shrimp with these guys, and you're not supposed to be able to do it, but you know, if you keep them well fed, I think they kind of leave them alone, especially as they get bigger. But these are Indian pea puffers or pea puffers, and that little shrimp there, that shrimp, that little red shrimp, he just swims everywhere. He thinks he's a fish. Anyway, I hope this really helps. I'm going to kill the video here as I'm bouncing around here. There you go. There's my messy tank, and I kind of like the natural look, and this pretty much looks like a natural, you know, it's just makes it look like it's a part of our stream, which is the goal here. There's no high-end aquascaping or anything like that. It's just slap this here, there, and go. Y'all have a great day. Oh, by the way, tomorrow's Christmas. Merry Christmas!